the business of this great city and its great citizens, Lord. We thank you, God, as we come in this season of Christmas, Lord, that you would bless our city with the joy, the love, the peace, and the light of, Lord, not just merely the season, but Lord, as we reflect on the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ, who was born to bring forth peace, joy, and love. We pray that, Lord, in that spirit, that you would bless each citizen, each member of our council, Lord, and the business of this day. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
All right, at this time we have a couple of presentations. We are going to start with Captain Kohler and the introduction of our new lieutenant.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, and city staff. It's my pleasure tonight to introduce to you Lieutenant Jessica Hall. She'll be taking over to manage your police operations here in the city. And it's a little bittersweet for me. I've had the opportunity to be here in a dedicated role in addition to my other responsibilities for the past several months. And having the opportunity to be here on a more daily basis has just reinforced to me the uniqueness of this community. And while I certainly am happy to have someone coming behind me, I'm still going to be very involved in the background. But for all of you here in the room, I just want to convey truly what Norco has, and it's ultimately a gem in this whole Inland Empire region. As all this development occurs, and you can't possibly go more than 30 seconds down the freeway without a tilt-up warehouse, and that's not here. We have some of that. But this rural lifestyle and the close-knit community that all of you bring, there's no comparison here in the community that large. And I just want to reinforce the specialness, I guess. I'm not even sure that's a word. Catherine, is that a word? Specialness?
We'll count it tonight.
Okay, great. The partnership that the sheriff's office has with Norco has been around for a very long time, and I'm confident under her leadership, Lieutenant Hall is going to make things even better here for everybody. So if you will, give me just a moment. I'm going to provide you some information about her background, and then we'll formally make that introduction. Lieutenant Jessica Hall began her career with the Riverside County Sheriff's Office in 2006. After graduating the Sheriff's Academy, she was assigned to the Sheriff's Paris Station, working various assignments including patrol, school resource officer, and within the Investigations Bureau. Lieutenant Hall also served on the Sheriff's Dive Team and Honor Guard. In 2012, Lieutenant Hall was transferred to the Ben Clark Training Center, serving as a training coordinator and course instructor. She managed multiple training courses, training new recruits and active peace officers in firearms, defensive tactics, physical training, and also works currently for the Moreno Valley College as an adjunct faculty member. In 2016, Lieutenant Hall was promoted to the rank of corporal and assigned to the Lake Elsinore Station, where she worked patrol operations. Lieutenant Hall was promoted to the rank of sergeant 2 years later and worked various supervisory assignments within the Robert Presley Detention Center, the Lake Elsinore Station, personnel and recruiting, and most recently, the Southwest Station in the Temecula French Valley area as a patrol watch commander. She possesses a bachelor's degree in human services management and was awarded the Sheriff's Life-Saving Medal in 2018 for her acts during a rescue of an elderly couple trapped in a vehicle fire. In 2021, she received a Heroes with Heart Award for her compassionate support of citizens in crisis. She is a current member of the Sheriff's Department's peer support team and mentor for the Women's Leaders in Law Enforcement Foundation. On December 14th, 2023, Sheriff Bianco promoted Jessica to lieutenant and assigned her to the Norco Sheriff Station. Lieutenant Hall resides in La Cresta with her husband and children. They enjoy the outdoors, traveling, caring for their horses, donkeys, chickens, ducks, bunnies, and parrots. So with that, Lieutenant Hall.
Members of the community that are here tonight, I am honored and excited to be your new Norco lieutenant. I've been a longtime admirer of Horsetown, USA. Although I don't live here, it's definitely would be where I would live if I didn't live in La Cresta. I love the residents, the tight-knit community that you have worked so hard to preserve. I look forward to managing our police services, and public safety is my #1 priority, along with supporting your deputy sheriffs that serve Norco. You have an outstanding group of professionals working in Norco, and I intend to keep it that way. I look forward to immersing in the small town, the animal-oriented community. It's definitely something that is part of my heart, as you heard from all my animals. And I'm very excited to be part of the city team. You can expect my presence and my support at the community events, and I look forward to this opportunity. Thank you for always supporting law enforcement.
All right. Thank you, Captain Kohler and Lieutenant. Welcome to Horsetown, USA. We're happy to have you.
Mayor, Lieutenant Hall, did you want to introduce your husband while you're here too? You had a guest? Do you want to introduce him really quick?
I'll tell you what, I just sat next to Captain Kohler and told him I got scared and forgot to introduce that. So my husband, he is a chief deputy with our department as well. His name's Zach Hall. He's over our support services with the Sheriff's Department, so our training, dispatch, and our technical services bureau, City of Norco as well.
It works. It works.
Well, it looks like you guys are going to fit right in here in Norco. All right. Our next presentation this evening is for our Norco Jap Super Bowl champions that we have in the room. So I am proud on behalf of Norco City Council to recognize Norco Jap organization and the 2023 Norco Cougar Midget team as a dynamic and spirited youth football team who is rooted in the heart of our community. So we have the Norco Midget cheerleaders. They're comprised of 8 cheerleaders led by cheer coaches Tia Bauer. You would think I would be able to say that since you guys were my students, right? And Coral Hamner as well. The cheerleaders are supported the team every game, and the midget cheerleading squad took home a 2nd place in their annual competition. And then we have the 2023 Norco Midget Squad, who's comprised of 30 driven and enthusiastic players under the guidance of their experienced coaching staff. With their head coach, Quinn Foster, they strive not only to hone their football abilities, but also to instill those values of teamwork, discipline, and resilience. In total, the team scored 476 points, which is impressive, while only allowing 44 points to be scored against them in their regular season. During the playoffs, the team allowed 8 points scored against them while scoring 168 points. Yes, again, I think that's worthy of a round of applause. So the team went on to win the 2023 SCJAAF Super Bowl, beating out Rancho Cucamonga 24-0. So united by a common love for football, the Norco Midget team represents not just a team, but a family. With their unwavering determination and the support of our community, they march forward, aiming to leave an indelible mark on the world of youth football. We couldn't be more proud of you guys for representing our community and what you do. And I know football is it's very important in Norco, right? We all know that. And so having you guys start and have the mark in the football realm that you do, we're just super proud. I'm going to have the city clerk help. We've kind of divided up the handouts for you guys into cheer, players, coaches, and so on. But it's one of the coaches here wants to come up and speak real quick on behalf of the team. They're like, nose goes, who's going? Yeah. It doesn't have to be long. You can just come up here and give a cheer or whatever you want.
Yep. Yeah, most of these boys went back to back, had 2 championships in a row. Hopefully next year we get a 3rd one. Super proud of them. They've worked really hard. They work every day, even times when they're not at practice. A lot of them go to school to work. They do 3 hours of workout every day there, and you know, I can't be more proud of them.
All right, so we would like all the football players, all the cheerleaders, and all the coaches to come up here in the well in front of the dais. We're going to take pictures, and then we'll give you guys the goodies. Yes, so as you guys are making your way up here, every single player, cheerleader, and coach is going to get one of these applauding your work, and the pin that's on here, these are only given out for recognition. This isn't something that can be purchased or anything like that. So these are very special pins that are given with purpose and with reason. So each one of you will be getting one of these as well. Yeah, so go ahead and go all the way from the wall. Tall to the back. Tall people up the back. And then we might have to, if you will put it in. Yeah. Just so we can see her. Stand up behind them. So thank you guys for coming in. I know it's winter break. So thank you for making the time to come in today. And again, super proud of you guys. All right. At this time, we are going to go on to our reorganization. Do we want to call for public comment first, right? So at this time, I will go ahead and call for public comment before we do the reorganization.
And for the item for reorganization, I just have one, Jeff Cahan.
Okay.
You want to hear papers? That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So A is our election of the mayor. So at this time, I will take a nomination for mayor.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to nominate Mayor Pro Tem Kevin Bash for the position of mayor for this following year.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to have Kevin Bash be mayor. So with that, we will go ahead and take a vote.
Please vote.
I'm a yes. I'm gonna have to sign
Yep, I just sent it.
It says move, as in make the motion.
Now you should be good. There we go. And motion passes unanimous, sorry.
All right, perfect. Then we are going to go on to item B, which is election of Mayor Pro Tem. We have public comment on this item.
Yes, Jeff Cahan.
Congratulations, Kevin. City Council, before you nominate and vote on Mayor Pro Tem, I just wanted to remind the council of a couple of issues. I don't believe that Catherine Alleman is ready to be Mayor Pro Tem. I don't think the city deserves to have her in a position of power. I can remind you, back in 2020, she was an opportunist and took advantage of the George Floyd situation and brought a march to Norco that then resulted in some incidents that happened. And for the first time I'm aware of in Norco's history, we were in a 2-day curfew. I don't know that that represents Norco very well. She called Ted a racist, and she called Norco racist, and that was not in Norco's best interest. She's also called you backroom dealers, and she cries to the newspaper when she doesn't get her way. I don't know that that's a good example of someone that we would want to be given a title of pro tem or mayor someday. When she filled out her Form 700 in 2020, she did not check off Section 4B, indicating that she had no real property interest. So that tells me when she ran for council, she didn't own property. She didn't have a real interest in Norco. And when I look through her FPPC Form 460s as a candidate, she raised an awful lot of money. Are you aware that on her initial filing, I know that $99 and under you don't have to report, but for the 100 and over that she does report, she reported $10,650 coming from outside Norco. And at the same time, she only received $1,300 from inside Norco. That's an 8-to-1 outside Norco. So a lot of people outside of Norco really wanted her to win that election, but people inside Norco weren't stepping up with their pocketbooks quite as much. So a lot of people outside are interested for her. Another quick reminder, City Council meeting, September 21st, 2022. Oh, for the record, by the way, I'm speaking as a resident and a personal citizen and nothing else. I'm just here on my own behalf, Jeff Cahan, citizen. September 21st, 2022, on the agenda, there was 2 commission appointments up on that agenda. I think you guys remember that meeting. The meeting was 175 minutes long, and we spent 50 minutes on that one item. And there were 15 people at the podium, which is pretty noteworthy. How many times do we get 15 people to come to the podium on a single agenda item? That's pretty rare. She chooses to do a 5-minute recap after every council meeting and let her constituents know what happened at the meeting. 50 minutes of a 175-minute meeting, and guess how much time she spent on that 5-minute recap? 0.0. Didn't even mention that 2 commissioners were appointed. Regardless of controversy or non-controversy,
You're
couldn't even
out of time.
let
yeah.
the people know what happened at the meeting. So consider that. Thank you.
I have no further public comment, Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. So at this time, we'll bring it back to council. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to nominate Greg Newton as Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
We have a motion.
So under discussion, I want to thank the gentleman for his comments. And I would just say 2 things. One is I think they say more about him than they say about me. And second, thank you for watching my recaps and what's happening. And so I just want to preface my vote that this is not about the person, but it is about the policy. And we've talked about this previously in council, and we had a discussion about setting a policy that would make it fair to rotate. And so I believe, and I still believe, as I said in previous meetings, that the best policy would be to follow a fair, established rotation for mayor, because it allows everyone who is elected by the residents to serve in the role. And it keeps politics and it keeps personalities out of who holds the mayor's gavel. And I think that that really is a best practice for our residents. And I think that that's what they deserve. And as a council member and as a person, as a resident, as a voter, I'm always going to advocate for transparency and equal treatment. And I'm going to keep working hard for the residents of the town that I love, as I have been. So, thank you.
And I'll just follow that up. You know, we discussed this at length in a council meeting not too long ago. And the fact is, we said the way we've been doing it is the way we should do it. That's what we said. That's what we decided. And it's Catherine's turn. Because if we do it the way we said we're going to do it, it's her turn. That's it. She was elected by residents in this community. So my opinion is, again, regardless of the politics or anything else, she's up in the rotation. And at the end of the day, not a single person up here can do something. Not one of us. You have to be able to count to 3 and have 3 votes, or it doesn't get done. So this concept of the idea that the mayor has all this power, and I will tell you, it's a misconception. When you sit in the seat, you get phone calls all the time. Well, why can't you just fix this? Well, because it takes 2 other votes to do that. I can certainly listen. I can work with staff to help make some movement or agendize something. But at the end of the day, the 5 of us up here are equal. Our votes count the same, no matter if it's Robin Grundmeyer council member or Robin Grundmeyer mayor. If you're the mayor, you're at the top of the list for complaints. You're at the top of the list for all the negative and nasty emails. You're at the top of the list for you're at the top of the list for all the, you know, not fun part of this job. And then, yeah, if you're into photo ops and, you know, running around to do some of that stuff, that's there too. But at the end of the day, every single one of these seats up here is the same. And then you get to run the meetings and follow the agenda and try and keep things in order and on time. So, you know, that's my 2 cents on the matter at hand. So we will proceed with the vote.
Please vote. And motion passes with Mayor Grundmeyer voting no and Councilmember Alleman voting no.
All right, and with that, wow. Kevin, you told a joke. She said, "Yeah, my stomach is flat, but the L is silent." Okay, I didn't say it was good. I just said I had one.
All right. The most important thing to me, this was not an easy decision, none of this, is continuity. The fact of the matter is Norco's facing unprecedented opposition, things being thrown at us from Sacramento. My greatest concern is that there has to be institutional memory going forward. I love my staff. The staff, I believe, is performing beautifully right now. I really believe that. But in terms of the elected officials, there has to be institutional memory. Otherwise, find yourself in a situation where staff's in charge, you have this. So, moving on. Let's go to reports from regional boards. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a little rattled. We'll go to item C, presentation 2 and comments by outgoing Mayor Robin Grundmeyer. All right. Can the council members please join me in the well at the podium to honor Mayor Robin Grundmeyer? So Robin, you're not going far. You're just going a few seats down the way. As you say, we're all equal. So first off, I want to present with the gavel you used during your entire term as mayor, in which you led significant actions and initiatives for our community. I hope you display it proudly and that it commemorates your dedication to Norco. And just on a personal note, Robin, I want to tell you, you may well be the best mayor I've ever seen. You have been, I've seen a lot of mayors. Anyway. So tonight, and the other council members will have the opportunity to speak. Tonight, we're going to continue our tradition of giving the mayor the boot. So bend over. No. This fancy boot is filled with notes of gratitude and fond memories from your fellow council members and staff, and will stay in the city council office at City Hall until it's time to give me and future mayors the boot, which may be sooner than later. Thank you, without saying goodbye, and it is very fitting for Horsetown, USA. I've got a note in there myself, but let me be the first to say once again, thank you for your service and leadership as mayor of the city of Norco. And again, I think you may well be in the top three. Naomi Fagan was fabulous, so it's between the two girls. So, Councilman Hanna, do you have some words?
Yes, I do. Things about 18 or 20 years ago, I first I got on the Ag Advisory Committee at the high school with Robin, and we did a lot of work helping the students, and the committee helps figure out what they can do to help the department and everything. And her and her sister and them were always a pleasure to work with. And then when she got on council, and I think this is the second time you've been mayor while I was on here. Yeah, I had a recess there for about 2 years, then they recycled me and everything. But Robin's always done good. Her heart's in the city, because she grew up here, went to school here, and teaches ag youth groups, and I just can't help but agree with Kevin. You know, she's one of the best ones that there's ever been, and hope you don't go away, Robin, just because you're not the mayor anymore. Thank you.
Catherine?
So I would just say 3 things. One, the first is that I move that Robin wins the ugly sweater contest. Is there a second? Second, 2 things that I really appreciate about Robin and in her tenure as mayor is that she is incredibly kind and generous with her knowledge, her ag knowledge, and will help anyone who asks or is eager to learn. And as the mayor of Horsetown, USA, that's a really great asset for us to have. And the second is that she leads with integrity. And I know that even if we may not disagree on a decision, I know that she always votes with integrity, that she keeps her word, and that she's doing what she believes to be right. And I have so much respect for that, especially in a job where sometimes people are blown one way or the other, depending on the winds. And I trust people who, and I appreciate people who, in the face of that, will still vote their conscience and vote what they believe to be right. So thank you for serving as our mayor this year. Thank you for taking all the phone calls that we did not have to take. So.
I asked my wife and she said I looked ugly tonight. So I
don't know. I feel like this sweater might be uglier than mine.
Could be. I saw the weight off your shoulders. Okay. You just lifted. Just a couple of things. What's important to me as a council person is your leadership, but more importantly is your friendship. You have an incredible high moral bar, and I just, outside of all the council stuff, I just consider you a friend. And but with that, this past year, I think that you deserve so much credit, along with staff and Amanda and facilities, that building the barn, I think, is your highlight out of the entire year. I don't think anybody realizes, outside but few, the 2 years plus that we spent planning that project. But then to pull it off, you did incredible. So keep smiling.
So now we have some presentations from some.
I have one here from the County of Riverside, the Riverside County Board, and it's from our representative over here, Second District, Karen Speed.
And we have a certificate of recognition presented to Mayor Grundmeyer in grateful appreciation of her outstanding leadership and dedication as the mayor of the city of Norco in the year of 2023 from our state senator, Kelly Ciarta.
Are you looking forward to this? Take it, hon.
But before we do that, a few words from the ex-mayor.
I love the sound of that. Thank you. This is my second time serving as mayor, and I will tell you this year has been a doozy, and not even close to serving the first time. We've had obviously the passing of Mayor Pro Tem Hoffman, which is a lot. We had that manure bill that we did a couple press pieces on, the RTRP, the prison closure, and that's on top of like the regular day-to-day. I got a ticket, my road's horrible, my neighbor's this, that. And so this year was a lot for sure in this spot. So I'm definitely happy to represent Norco and the city of Norco. I've taken the job very seriously, and I hope that I've always, represented this town with integrity, our best foot forward when we've been kind of spotlighted outside of our community. I do love this town. Like Berwin and the others have said, born and raised here. And so it has a special place, obviously, in my heart. And I would go to the ends of the earth to fight for this community and what we believe in, as would all of my colleagues standing behind me. And it doesn't matter, again, what seat I'm sitting in, I'm still going to keep up that fight because, like Kevin has mentioned, it is, almost a constant fight to protect what we have here in this special place that we live. So thank you. It's been my honor, but I'm certainly excited for the words MASH. So thank you all.
So moving on to city council reports on regional boards. We will begin with Councilmember Bash, Mayor Bash, for your benefit. Remembrance ceremony, thank you so much to staff for the assistance on that. Had about 100 people come, and I thought it went well. Certainly did our best. The Randy Lutz Memorial Plaque unveiling, that was wonderful. Thank you, everybody back there, and thank you, Lori, for making that happen so quickly. We had an RP lunch meeting with Lori, Steve Larson, Riverside Councilman Steve Hemingway. We're just waiting now to find out if the CPUC is going to, they're going to hear our case. They are, quote, if little Norco gets away with this, then what's next? Well, let's all underground. That's what's next. Disclose what we're talking about so much there, but that's something that I worked with clear back to Kathy Azevedo, and that is a incredible opportunity for the city of Norco right here in our city. And one of the things they're working on is a manured energy project and getting rid of manure and things like that, which can help us in the future. I had an incredible conversation. I can't even believe they talked to me. I talked to some of the top Navy historians and historians in the United States, like 20 of them. And they were like listening, so I didn't know what to make of that. Probably one of the highlights of the week for me was I was invited to represent council for the Memorial Plaza. The guy was fabulous and very interested in what we're doing here in Norco, and one of their basic tenets is save one, and save another one, save another one. Very involved in homeless veterans, which keys right into what we're doing. I was very excited about that, and I was really pleased that the Veterans Memorial Committee, several of the members were there. Very, very positive happening. It was just really, he's the guy in the dark on the left there. And then had a pretty important meeting, the chancellor of Riverside City College, Monica Green, the president, and with trustee Bill Hedrick. I don't know where it's going to go, but it seemed very positive. But they are very interested in aligning with our veterans housing program and their MAP program. They just literally said that's one of their guiding principles. And then some of the other issues we talked about, I don't know, Lori was probably going, oh, I can't believe he's saying that, but trying to get them to work on another project, and I'm hoping I made some inroads. So that's all I have. Thank you. Councilmember Alleman.
Yes, so I don't have anything to report on any of the regional boards that I sit on that receive a stipend. For anything else, you can check my social media. Thank you.
Councilmember Hannah.
Thank you, Mayor. Attended the RCTC meeting, and one of the projects we approved was a 2-lane extension of the 15 freeway toll lanes from Cahalco Road to State Route 74, which is Central Avenue in Lake Elsinore. And that RTA ridership continues to grow, and they're offering free rides on all fixed route buses and Go Micro buses on Sunday, December the 31st, New Year's Eve after 2:30 p.m. to provide for the holiday. So you'd have a designated driver. And attended the RTA ribbon cutting ceremony on December the 8th for the Vine Street Terminal, which is a new place for all the buses to pull in as passengers switch, and it's right next to the Amtrak station, so or Metrolink. So it'll be real handy for people to catch rides to go here, there, and everywhere. And then on December the 11th, myself and Robin, the mayor at the time, and Catherine, and Lori, our city manager, and Alma attended the league meeting over in Eastvale. And also the same day attended the unveiling of the plaque for Deputy Lutz, who lost his life here back in '86, something like that happened. Okay, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Councilman Newton. Mayor Pro Tem
Thank-
Newton.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Grundmeyer, myself, and Chad Blaze, we had our mix, still reviewing all the various rates from the different proposals from the different haulers. And we're moving forward with this. The other I want to make was Chad, along with the consultants, that I appreciate the leadership that you're showing with this subcommittee. It's a lot of work, and you've taken the bull by the horns with it. And then I just appreciate all the input and all the information that you're giving us. You're welcome. Thank you, Kevin.
And, former Mayor Grundmeyer.
Nothing to report.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to consent calendar. Are there any council members that wish to pull something? Hearing none, are there any public comments?
I have no public comments, Mayor.
Do I have a motion for the consent
Move to
calendar?
approve.
Irwin? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Catherine, seconds.
Please vote. Motion passes unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to public comments. City Clerk, any public comments?
This time when persons wishing to address the presiding governmental body regarding consent calendar, legislative matters or items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the legislative body. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. And the Ralph M. Brown Act limits governmental bodies' ability to respond to comments on non-agendized matters at the time such comments are made. And our one speaker card, Mike Williams.
Mike, nice to see you.
Thank you, Mayor Bash. Congratulations, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Newton, congratulations. Robin, think the world of you. I had an opportunity to visit a property at 4550 Crestview this morning. And the reason for that visit was there was a vehicle that lost control on Crestview coming southbound. Appeared that it lost control, went backwards through the gate and the fence and over their trash cans and landed in the front yard at 4530 Crestview. And the one thing that stopped it was that property sits about 10 feet lower than the property that it went through. Evidently, the driver of the vehicle was okay. I was in hopes that the owner of the property would be here tonight. Their question was, this is the third time that this has happened. So that was how I ended up getting involved. Took a few pictures of it, but they're available if you'd like to see them. I'll be happy to send them to everybody. Not the only street in Norco, as you all well know, that has problems like this. Valley View, 2nd to 3rd, I am intimately familiar with because Sigrid was sideswiped there last year in her truck. And had she not had the professional defensive driving tactics that she has, it would have been a head-on collision. Had she not turned around as fast as she did and went after the driver that ran into her, we have an idea he would have taken off. It worked out in her favor. However, truck being in the shop 4 months, Sigrid was covered with glass in her eye. Driver's side mirror ended up in her lap. I mean, it was a pretty good wreck. 4th and 5th, for whatever reason, southbound is a 15-mile-an-hour sign. Northbound, there's nothing around the curve past the church. Corona Avenue's got a bad spot in it, south of 4th. As we all know, speed is a chronic problem in this town and everywhere else. We're not the only ones that are in the middle of this. stop signs, people running stop signs, people not stopping on a right-hand turn, so on and so forth. We all know what the problems are. I would ask the council, sorry, Chad, to pass this on to the Stuck and have us take a look at this and see what we can do to slow some of these bad spots down. My feeling is on just Crestview as an example, that what might work there is between 8th and Mount Rushmore to consider making that a 15-mile-an-hour zone. It's a major bypass for people coming and going to Riverside. We all know that. I've been passed rear end or pushed from the rear and so on that street. I can't count how many times. I'm not going to go on and on with this, but please, if you could have this brought to the Stuck so that we can have a discussion about this and come up with some logical ideas that might work and that we can present back to council. Sure appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Is there,
Merry Christmas.
is there a chance that you can give the photos to Dana and then
Yes, sir.
she can distribute them for us?
I'll pass them on to her. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Any other comments?
No further comments, Mayor.
Okay, moving on to city council staff communications. City staff, anything? Dana?
Just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, and thank you again, Robin, for a great year and all the support that you give us. Thanks.
City attorney? City manager? You know, you can have that surgically removed and it probably won't leave a scar. It's really different. Berwin? Greg?
Just want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. And I was going to ask Bonnie if you would do us one favor from the Horsemen's Association to recognize our new lieutenant, that in her car, the Horsemen's halter and lead rope, and welcome her to Norco. So other than that, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you.
Catherine?
Yes, a couple of things. I want to thank the staff for all their hard work on the Christmas festival. And this year, the city council had a float, most of us, the mayor was announcing. But I want to thank Tractor Supply. They sponsored our trailer. And the Grundmeyers did a lot of the work putting it together and breaking it down. So it was the only negative thing about being in the parade is that you can't see all the floats. But it was really fun to be in the parade. If you didn't see us, we had a mini cow and a chicken. So I don't know what is more Norco than that. And the chicken's name was Nuggy, which some people thought was funny. So, and Cyclone is adorable. So, and the second is on, thank you, Dana distributed, our city clerk distributed to us before our meeting, resolution number 2023-53, which is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Norco amending the rules of procedure for City Council meetings. So we have established by resolution our procedures for how the meetings are run, how items are brought to be voted on. And so I appreciate getting that and reviewing that. And so, wanted to just ask my colleagues if they haven't to look over that. So, and one of the reasons for that is after we voted today on reorganization on item B, there were some comments that were made after, and I thought the discussion was over. So since it's council communication times, I wanted to bring something up that I didn't bring at that time because I thought the item had closed, which is just that the comment was made in needing continuous leadership and having institutional knowledge. And so we have, which our city clerk had passed out to us previously as well, a list of the city of Norco, the roster of mayors and mayor pro tems, and who all of our mayors have been and when they were elected and when they served and the pro tem and kind of what has been the historical rotation that has happened. And so in looking at that, everyone on the dais, with the exception of me, when they were elected, served as mayor pro tem in their first term and possibly mayor. And some even served as mayor pro tem in their second year. So understanding that we always need institutional knowledge and how many people up here who have served for far longer than me and on multiple commissions, and I appreciate that service very much. But just to say that that has not always been the practice for, everyone, that not everyone was held to the same standards. So, and my phone, my email, my social media, I'm always available. So if anyone has, any comments or wants to have a discussion or has any questions, I'm always happy to answer them, to listen, to dialogue. And the same goes to my colleagues as well. And if there's, anything else anybody would want to share about that before we move on, just wanted to bring that up. So thank you.
Robin.
Just Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope everybody has a good holiday. And staff, I hope you guys enjoy some time off and some rest from this place, hopefully over the next couple of weeks. And then for staff and our public safety in the back, please don't leave, because I have stuff for you and I don't want to take it back out to my car. So don't leave.
Thank you. First off, to Michael's point, I think that's a really good idea. Those are problematic curves. I think taking that to Stuck might be a good idea. I'd like to move that forward, make a motion that we send that over. Do I have to make a motion, or can we just send it to Stuck that they can talk about those key points?
There's no drawback to making a motion. You don't have to have something on the agenda to put something on an agenda. So at this point, you just be adding it to the agenda of the Stuck.
Well, I make a motion that we send it back to Stuck and let them talk about it. And I see Chad, but you know what? You wore the sweater, so you have no credibility at the moment. Now we have a second from Robin Grundmeyer.
Please vote. Motion passes unanimous.
And to the lieutenant, I'm assuming you have a cowboy hat? So, because if you notice, a lot of our deputies wear the hats. I want to welcome you once again. I'm actually very excited because it's kind of cool to watch Chad squirm over there. And it's really very cool that we have a pretty much all female leadership. And it's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. Yes.
I'd like to add something about the lieutenant. She comes with quite a resume with all those animals that she fits right in with the rest of us. Thank you.
I would imagine you have bib overhauls with all the weird little animals, right? You have like an umbrella when you feed the parrots, stuff like that. I too want to thank staff for the incredibly hard work. This has been, I have to echo Robin, this has been a really, really hard year. And just very busy year. And I know staff, you've had to go through a lot of changes. Amanda, Michelle, every single one of you, Lisette, have been responsive. We really appreciate HR back there. All you guys, everybody. I really want to thank you. You make our job a lot easier. And in my opinion, I'm seeing a great uptick in the level of, you're still a lawyer, so don't get excited. But I personally have seen a quite an uptick just in performance, and I'm really delighted to see that. So with that, I think this meeting is adjourned. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all that.